If you're one of the people that's eagerly anticipating Nova to come into the MCU, I guess you're gonna have to keep on waiting. But as it turns out, early drafts of Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, which of course at the time were two completely separate films that were supposed to be more conjoined and really different from what we ended up getting, originally saw Nova heavily featured. So back in the day, prior to 2015's Age of Ultron, we of course know the Marvel Studios came out and they announced that big old slate, and they were teasing many elements that were going to be happening down the road, one of these being the cosmic side of the MCU. Now obviously that slowed down a little bit when it comes to the Guardians of the Galaxy due to James Gunn being fired, then rehired, then pretty much everything just kind of getting a massive delay with other things happening, new projects, Disney Plus taking off, so things are looking interesting. Recently, during a actual Q&A, Marcus and McFeely were asked about the actual status of Nova, and while they couldn't talk about anything, because honestly I don't think they really know anything that's happening with the character beyond what they knew previously, they did reveal that originally in Avengers Infinity War, or what ended up being Infinity War, which at the time was Infinity War Part 1 and 2, and before it was ever actually called that, when they were just developing the concept of a third Avengers film, when Thanos wiped out the Nova Corp to actually get the stone that was on Xandar, we would have seen the Novas. Now they also go on and elaborate a little further in Infinity War, where we see Hulk and he's sent down to Earth, crashing through the Sanctum and warns Doctor Strange of the upcoming threat that is Thanos. Obviously that was originally supposed to be, if they follow the comics, Silver Surfer. Now their idea was to make it another cosmic entity. This would have been Nova. Nova was originally written to be this part, and then he would have established this bigger cosmic side, kind of been the overpowered character in the film. Now, since that time, they obviously started moving forward with Captain Marvel, again the Guardians delay, and Nova just seems to be getting put on a back burner, considering they didn't even want to include the Xandar getting decimated scene, just so the question isn't brought up of, well, where's Nova? So again, I think they're just kind of playing their cards slowly and trying to find the right place for him and which version to use, but it's interesting to know that they definitely want him in there, considering they've been working on some way to include this character for the better part of the last decade.